It's never boring in Russia, never a dull day. Morning everyone, welcome to another edition of Luke Jones' The Other Way. Here we are back at Kursky railway station. Now for those of you who saw the previous episode, we were differently successful trying to make it to Vladimir because we got the standard phrase from back in the 1990s, biletov нет, no tickets. This time round, we've done things in advance, got the tickets yesterday. Hope you'll join us as we board the train. Just before that, time for a quick breakfast option. Off we go to the Doner stand. Here we are on the platform, ready to board the train to Nizhny Novgorod, which stops halfway in Vladimir. Russian trains are not usually known for their speed. Most of them stop at every lamppost, but here's an exception. The Lastochka train, which means swallow in Russian, swallow as in the bird, not what you do in your throat. It's going to take us there in 1 hour and 41 minutes. My travelling companion today, I'm delighted to say, is Sarah once again, who loved our trip to Tula so much. She's coming with us all the way to Vladimir. So, all aboard, let's go. Здравствуйте. Мы к вам.
Хорошо, паспорта.
Well, here we are, just a few miles outside of Vladimir, on the banks of the Nerl River, and in front of us is this beautiful old church that was actually featured on the cover of the Lonely Planet guidebook back in the mid-90s. I think it was the first one I bought for Russia. This village, where the church is called Bogolyubovo, which actually translates roughly as something like God-loving, which I guess is quite appropriate for an Orthodox church. Let's go and have a look inside the church itself. Now we're slap bang here in the middle of Vladimir, which in Russian is pronounced Vladimir. It's over 1,000 years old and therefore has nothing to do whatsoever with a certain Mr Putin, who is a reported 67 years old. Plenty to see here, so let's go and check it out. Now this chap Lenin here in the background seems to get everywhere. It's hard to find a town or city in Russia that doesn't have a statue, and unlike in certain parts of the world, nobody's aiming to knock them down anytime soon. The irony here is that Lenin seems to be guarding the bank in the background. Now Vladimir, being around about 1,000 years old, manages to encapsulate the old and the new. So here we have in the center a lot of beautiful old buildings, some monuments to Vladimir himself, and on the outskirts you've got some slightly more Soviet-looking buildings. Vladimir is not one of these towns that time left behind. It's actually quite a modern functioning town with a population of about a third of a million, pretty similar to Plymouth. Let's go and have a look at the panorama, because what you find in Russia, it's a pretty flat country, but here in Vladimir there's a beautiful view across the river and the rest of the city. Right, well, we're standing on the main drag here. This is the street called Улица Большая Moskovskaya, Big Moscow Street. Presumably it leads all the way to Moscow. But much more importantly, here we have the Golden Gates, the entrance to Vladimir. Given that it's getting dark, take a good look at them, because we're off to the pub next. Right, whoops. There's a napkin there. You're not supposed to use your jeans. Well, one of the benefits of it getting dark a little bit earlier now, we're into autumn, is that the sightseeing was over just a little bit earlier than... Do that in a minute. No, I can't do that while you're doing that. Okay. But we came into a fantastic bar this evening, and we've met Yulia and Anastasia, who've poured us a few beers. So, best part of the evening, here we come. Cheers, guys. Happy days. Сейчас вам кое-что прикольно покажу. Это мой канал на YouTube.
Черный пиар просто. Чуть-чуть прибухнуть и свой канал засветить.
Сейчас, просто мы еще не прибухнули, ладно.
Все впереди. Скучно не бывает в России. Oh, sorry, I'm supposed to do it in... It's never boring in Russia, never a dull day. Come on out and check it out. Cheers. Oh. I'd love to stay here. It's a super city, Vladimir, but I think we need to be getting back to Moscow. And rather than go down to the station and take our chances, we can actually order the tickets online. So let's see how we get on. I struggle usually with a pop-up toaster when it comes to technology, but I'm sure we'll get back somehow. Well, we're having a few problems trying to book the tickets online, but we've got lovely Anastasia here who's actually helping us out book the tickets. So as well as getting a beer at the bar, you get your tickets booked for you. What more could you want? Right, well, unfortunately, we're coming to the end of what's been a fantastic trip to Vladimir. It's only 2 hours east of Moscow, so if you're ever in the neighborhood, check it out. Anastasia will pour you a drink or two. And please be sure to join us for another episode of Luke Jones The Other Way. Subscribe, like, share, preferably in that order. Cheers.